Right, there we go.
Okay.
Now, next Monday, we'll be closed for Martin Luther King.
Oh, so y'all be closed.
That's we'll be closed
Okay.
that day.
Okay.
So we will be closed. But what you get into for the holiday?
Nothing. My family came up to see me.
Okay.
That's about it. I didn't do too much. My cousin, she in the Air Force. She came home. She live in what is it, Arlington,
Okay. She in Northern Virginia.
Northern Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And she came to see me. Um, and speaking of Northern Virginia, you know the who is it? The basketball team is going to Northern Virginia.
What basketball team?
The Wizards, Washington Wizards, in nationals. The professional basketball and professional baseball team. They both going to Northern Virginia.
Oh.
They was in D.C., but now they going to Virginia. So
Hmm.
I wish they went down this way, like Virginia Beach. That would be
Why?
better. I like Virginia Beach better than Northern Virginia. You know, it's just I don't know why I like it. Probably because it's a beach. You know, got the waterfront, oceanfront.
There ain't water down there.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna. I don't know.
They got
And
the
it's a lot
harbor.
of money up there
They
too,
got
Northern Virginia.
yeah, 'cause they got the harbor right there.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
There's
lot
a
of
lot
money.
to do too.
And see, like when I would go out and go like out of town,
Mhm.
I always came down this way, like Newport News, Hampton, Norfolk, Virginia Beach. I rarely went the other way. Up.
You try something new.
Yeah, I rarely went up. You
Try
know.
something new. What do you
Yeah.
think about that? Go.
Yeah.
You got the Wizards coming to VA, so
Yeah, I would like to go to a game. You
I
know,
would too. I'm glad you said
I
that.
like to go when they play the Lakers. That's my team.
Really?
Yeah, Lakers.
Okay.
I'm not a big LeBron fan, but I do like the Lakers. I'm from like the Kobe Bryant era. Yeah, I guess I better get to business now.
Ah, so we've been doing some beats during the
Yeah.
holiday time.
Nah,
Get some work
I
done.
did a few, not many. I think I'm gonna do that today, actually. I've been up since about 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Why so early?
My patterns are off. I got bad sleep patterns. I dream a lot, and as of late, like they've been nightmares.
Mhm.
You know, um, it's got so much going on with me, and I feel like you know that things could be better for me. You know, things could absolutely be better, but you know, I'm set up for failure. You know, and it was a Georgia politician. I don't remember her name, but she got on TV and she was like, "Yeah, the problem is the leadership at the top. You know, everybody think I can do this and I can do that to make everyone else's lives better, but that's not reality. You know, I'm already doing the impossible. To do anything more, it just ain't living, and it's already bad enough that I'm not really living now. You know, um, you think of holidays. My family may come see me for the holidays to bring me gifts or food, but they never come to see me on the actual holiday. And because they say I wouldn't want them to drive up here on Christmas or Thanksgiving, I don't really go home, you know. So you think of I've been on this medicine for going on 18 years in a couple months.
Mhm.
I may have spent 5 holidays with family, and that's including birthdays, Christmas,
In the 18
Thanksgiving,
years.
in 18 years. You know, and
Why don't you go home on the holidays?
cause it's out of sight, out of mind. You know what people don't realize, like it's bad here in the sense of overwhelming for me and the community,
Mhm.
but it's much worse home. It's much worse at home because it's a small town. Everybody know everybody business, and I'm there, you know, and I see people, and I may think something negative about them. You know, I could see someone,
Mhm.
whose wife had an affair with someone else, and I'm thinking that when I see that person, all kind of crazy stuff, and
Are they gonna be at your family's home, or
no,
they
but
just in the
just
community?
going out in the community,
So do you really have to go out in the community, or can you stay in the family's home and visit them.
Yeah,
I'm cold.
I
I'm
could
sorry.
stay home, but you know, in a lot of ways, that kind of defeat the purpose. Cause like, what if I'm headed back towards my this side of town, and
Hmm.
they stop at a gas station to get gas, and I happen to, and my family stop at a gas station to get gas for the hour drive, and I run into someone who business I'm putting on the street, you know, and you know, like Lil Wayne said in the song, and this when I was still living at home. He said, "Whole city won't beat Lil Wayne," you know, because this situation shouldn't be happening. You know, it should not be happening, and if things are what I say, and they are, that you know, I'm getting my mind read when people got earpieces. Where is really the dignity in that? Because I don't control what people hear. So how can that be something where I can actually have dignity throughout this ordeal? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, where's the dignity? Because, you know, the people behind the medicine and the earpieces, they don't think about the greater good. There's no trust between me and them, you know, so is that helping or hurting the game that they're playing? But, you know, they don't seem to care what they help or hurt because they got control over everything. All the control is in their hands, not from a legal standpoint, from controlling the technology standpoint. Because from a legal standpoint, this is a human rights violation. This is illegal, you know. So, you know, they don't win that argument of it being legal. And like Roxy from 106 and Park, she done said a couple of times, you know, that what they was doing was illegal, you know, and it is. You know, you could say, well, it may be illegal, but long as we go behind your back and make your family your power of attorney, then that's good enough for it to be legal. No, it's not. No, it's not because I'm not mentally retarded, not mentally challenged. Any issues involving me should have came to me. You know, so to go behind my back, for one, that's illegal. Two, because I'm of age. I'm not a 16-year-old that you gotta get my parents' permission to do something. Or if I wanna go on a, what you call it, a, uh, even with joining the military as a minor, your parents gotta sign off on that. Even you go on a school trip, field trip, you know, you gotta have a legal guardian sign off that you can go. So, you know, I'm 21 years old and you wanna roofie me with a medicine behind my back. And I had a childhood friend that said that. And this is how she explained it. She said, when they don't want to go to you, they go around you know. And that's pretty much what they did, but they try to do it in an instance of where they blame my parents. But this ain't my parents' fault because you can't blame my parents and accuse them of wrongdoing and then at the same time make them my power of attorney. That makes no sense. Because if you accuse my parents of wrongdoing and that's how this happened to me, then why are you making them my power of attorney? And it basically a unwritten, basically a gray area power of attorney where, you know, as if I never signed off on it, they never signed off on it. But if, you know, to make a comparison, if I was in a car and had a car accident and was in a coma, my next of kin would, you know, decide on things, on treatment. If I needed a surgery, they'd decide if the surgery, if they think the surgery, if I would want the surgery.
Hmm.
You know, so this is not something where I would want it. You know, I wouldn't even involve myself with these kind of people, nor would my family. We from Lancaster County, Virginia. So there's no gangsters, no mobsters, no terrorists, So the reality is these people came looking for trouble. They lied, and now they're looking for someone to blame. Simple as that. They came looking for trouble. They did a bunch of stupid stuff that won't nobody gonna agree with, and they did it in front of everybody. So now they pointing fingers. But you know who they don't point the finger at? The doctor that gave me the medicine. I think that's more important than anything else. Would you agree? Because my mom didn't give me this medicine. My stepfather, my real father, they didn't give me this medicine. You know, my childhood doctor gave me this medicine. So I think it's crazy that and like I'm coming here to do therapy to kind of talk about things, but like I done spoke to the FBI. I know their number by heart. We got it memorized. 757. What is it? 757-455-0100. And I think that's the Chesapeake branch. And I got it in my phone too. Let me double check that. But yeah. So this is a situation where I ain't said the number in a while. That's kind of why I forget. I said 455-0100. But it's kind of a situation where the government is kind of just doing whatever they want, and no matter how I prove to them that this is not my fault, this is not my family fault, and vindicate myself and everyone close to me, they still try to revert it back on us. Like, come on, nobody believes that, and basically they didn't when they always wanted me on this medicine. And like I tell you one thing, like Jay-Z said when I was calling the FBI,
Mm-hmm.
he come out with a song talking about who he gonna tell we top of the totem pole. And that's reality. Like, I spoke to the FBI and spoke to the DEA. The DEA, they transferred me to the diversion department of the DEA
Why the DEA?
because of Young Jeezy and what he done said, and which I don't believe that, but I don't think this is about drugs. I think, you know, that because Young Jeezy said, no punchlines, no riddles. I'm talking white squares with the stamps in the middle. You know me, take the good with the bad. And like I was telling you this, and like the good is that I was supposed to get a record deal. The bad is I would have to be in this situation. That's what I speculate to believe to be true. That's my intelligent guess. Because Ti said in his King album, since you got your new record deal, nigga, I don't give up. If you don't like me, something he said in the song. I don't remember all the details, but he said something about me having a record deal. Even 106 and Park talked about that. Where Ti put in the magazine that he was signing an artist that had a newborn baby in HIV, and I don't have HIV or a newborn baby. He put that in a urban magazine that's distributed across the entire U.S. And it
So,
wasn't even my magazine. I saw it at one of my family members' dorm rooms where he lived with his friends. So everybody saw that in the magazine, where he was supposed to sign someone that allegedly had HIV and a newborn baby. Whatever happened to that artist? Because that artist ain't me. So, you know, these things, even like another thing that just happened, I discovered recently. Have you ever heard that song by Outkast called Players International Anthem or something like that?
mm,
Uh, and Bun B talk about in that song, and this when I was still living back home. He said, I don't remember his exact lyrics, but he basically said that if the people behind this medicine, now he didn't say medicine, but I'm gonna paraphrase what he said. He was kind of like, if they try to F you over, we're gonna get them for trying to F you over. And I don't remember exactly how he rapped that, what I'm paraphrasing, but basically he said if the government try to screw me over, then they gonna get them. If the government try to kill me, then they was gonna retaliate on my behalf. You know, well, I looked at that song, uh, when was it? A couple days ago, yesterday, day before yesterday, I believe. And I listened to that, looked at that video, and that's been taken out of the video. So I googled the lyrics to see if the lyrics said what I just paraphrased. It's been taken out the lyrics. You know, so that's a problem I have where music I seen in 2006 up until like 2010 has all been edited and
You saying his whole
like a couple of his bars from the verse has been taken out. And again, like how I was telling y'all last appointment, you know, these when they make these songs, it's distributed around the world. So there's a paper trail to everything they're saying. If the government want to find it, all they gotta do is just go to a record store that still sell old CDs. So there's a paper trail where the government can really do their due diligence if they really wanted to prove everything I'm saying is happening or happened. But they don't want to because again, what did Jay-Z say? Who is he gonna tell? We top of the totem pole. You know, another thing, Jermaine Dupri said in a song, "Effing with a laptop, I make him do it." That's been edited out. You know, who else? It's plenty of examples of Snoop Dogg says in a song with Ice Cube, I believe. He said, "You knew the job was dangerous when you signed up for it. I didn't sign up for no job. You know, I didn't know I was signing up for anything that was dangerous. You know, but that part they actually blocked out during the video shoot. They recorded it during the video shoot or video. They recorded the video, and I'm sure that he did that at the time of the video. But when they aired it on my TV, they cut that part out only to put it back in fast forward later, which is now. Where Snoop Dogg said if you knew the job was dangerous when you signed up for it. I think it's the song If You Scared Go to Church, where Snoop Dogg is talking in the beginning. You know, so it's pretty much, you know, a situation where, you know, and then they say things to me like people with earpieces say, you know, you need to mind your business, or what's the other thing they say? You need to mind your business, and I wrote it down. Let me see. They also say I need to get out the way, like I'm in the way of peace. You know, like I need to get out the way. You know, meaning you know when someone uses that slang, like you need to get out the way. Like if two people are feud, you need to get out the way, not make it worse. You need to mind your business. They say things like that, but then you let the government tell it. Terrell did this, Terrell did that. What did he need to mind his business about? It ain't about nobody but him. You know, that's what they try to perpetrate. That's what's going on. That this is all about me. And half the stuff they focus on ain't illegal and didn't exist until they actually put me on the medicine. So why is that the focus of the conversation? What happened on their watch while I'm on this medicine versus reasons of why they gave me the medicine? Why are they not discussing that? Because I find that to be more important than me on Instagram looking at a girl that's 15 years younger than me, which is actually still legal. So because I'm 39, looking at a 22-year, okay, so they're focused on that, but then stuff that actually relevant to what's going on, they got nothing to say about it, and basically it's a whole thing of character assassination,
Mm.
and everybody fall for that mess. Everybody think, and that's all people with earpieces do anyway. Whether it's people in your lobby or anywhere else I go to. And then it doesn't help that they got a television on show or a movie or something I saw on Amazon. I didn't look at the movie itself, but I saw it, you know, posted on there where I could view it if I wanted to. It's talking about what it say, defending the guilty, meaning that everybody know the government is guilty, but they defending them anyway, because they think that there's a greater good and that they trying to de-escalate the situation. That they de-escalating the situation by lying on me and blaming me for a bunch of stuff that I didn't do. And so I look at these folks like they're a joke. Because they are. Because a lot of this stuff is illegal and crooked. Even when the judge in the courtroom in Middlesex, she said, what did she say? Told my lawyer, who was a government probably spook or something, that she said to him, quit playing, don't act like we don't know what this is. That's what she told him, the guy that was supposed to be defending me in court. And she didn't mean that in the sense of him trying to get me out of trouble. It seemed like my lawyer was trying to blame me and make me take a charge where the Commonwealth attorney was basically trying to warn me not to trust this dude. And the judge said to this dude, quit playing, don't act like we don't know what this is. Along with my lawyer, whose name was John Singleton, like the movie director, he intimidated my mom in the courtroom and had her in the courtroom trembling, and one of the correctional officers come back there, he was like, yo, like, you need to look out for yourself and your family, because these folks are extorting them, and they are, what else would it be? Jail? How is this a better alternative than, if I done something wrong, how is being on a medicine that's causing liver issues, kidney issues, thyroid issues, has radiation in it, my hair's falling out, better than going in jail, sitting in a courtroom, better than being on trial and going to jail if I was found guilty? How is this a better alternative? How is this a jail diversion? This is not a jail diversion. An 18-year jail diversion of getting my mind read, and everywhere I go, people listening to my thoughts. What? Who made that plea deal? Because I certainly didn't make it, and I don't think anybody in their right mind would have made it either. Anybody that is so-called my power of attorney, nobody in my family would have agreed to this. So, whatever lies they're using to legitimize this, the only reason they're getting away with it because authority figures are not challenging it. Because again, what did Jay-Z say? Who are we gonna tell? We top of the totem pole, and so that's kind of that, and then you got drug dealing rappers who made a career rapping about selling cocaine, like Jeezy and T.I. Jay-Z, all of them made a career talking about selling cocaine, and then they started telling that they was doing this to me, which was supposed to be in a drug deal that went bad, and you letting them walk around with earpieces in their ear after they the ones that set me up and lied on me and kind of got me caught up in this mess I'm in, and then they walk around with earpieces as if they not a conflict of interest, where someone such as myself never sold cocaine, never used cocaine, and they treat me like I'm Pablo Escobar, and then the guys who brag about selling drugs every single day walk around with earpieces and cooperating with the government to try to bring me down as if I'm doing something illegal. You know what kind of it's really a shit show, really. You know, and just last week, um, what happened? I was at my doctor's office, and because the crazy the crazy thing about all this, the town where I'm from,
Mm-hmm.
the so-called pillars of the community and the alleged drug dealers there, which are, I hate to say it, are white people. This is not their first time doing something like this. When I was a kid, there was a guy there, a black guy, that who got caught dealing drugs, and he told on them, and they didn't get in trouble. He got in trouble, and they was all in the midst doing dealing the drugs together. Like it was like a black guy and like 5 or 6 white people. The black guy went to jail, snitched on them. The feds didn't charge the 5 or 6 white guys. They put something in the newspaper dismissing it, saying he was making it all up. But the whole town know that story is actually accurate and true. And basically, um, this is the same story again. This is basically, this is not their first time doing something like that, where they do some dumb shit or do some illegal shit, and they put it all on the black guy who ain't got the connections they got, you know, and I'm supposed to take a charge for something I'm not even doing. I'm not doing that, and I feel a long time ago people should have came forward and said, hey, Terrell had nothing to do with this. Take him off the medicine. It was me. And I'm not talking about family when I say that. I'm talking about the people who are actually guilty. You know, and but they're not gonna do that. These folks gonna let these folks kill me with this medicine, because that's what we had. If they don't take me off this medicine, it's gonna be fatal. It's really gonna be fatal. And I think a lot of things could be better in the sense of, one, I don't think it's about drugs, and I'm getting my mind read, so that's something I actually believe. It's not something where I'm telling you that and I'm trying to deceive you. No, I really don't think it's about drugs. This is what I think the whole thing about the drugs is. I think the government, who do you think the government found first when it came to this master plan of theirs? You think they decided to use the rappers first for this, or they decided to use me first? Which one you think came first?
Amen.
Because the reality is, this ain't the rappers' game either. And I know whether drug dealers or not, or whether they deal drugs or not, you know, they ain't responsible for what happened to me. They just a part of a much bigger machine. And my thing with it all, my thing with it is that I don't think it's about drugs. I think that they made up this so-called fake drug deal was because it was a long-term plan. This was a long-term plan, and something had to go wrong for the long-term plan to be carried out. So they came up with the drugs. They said, well, we're gonna plan this. We're gonna roofie Terrell. We're gonna tell everybody he got caught in a drug deal that went bad. So the long-term plan will go on, and everybody would give an earpiece to, or think that Terrell is caught in some kind of drug war or caught in some kind of drug deal that went bad. But really, we just making power moves because of climate change. Because that's what it's really about. And again, Young Jeezy, what did Young Jeezy say? Look up to the sky, tell me what you see the clouds. No, not me. I'm an opportunist. You heard what I said. I'm an opportunist. You even talking about the satellites that this medicine work off, or climate change, and giving these people patterns. He was probably talking about both, and because like Lloyd Banks had a song called Hands Up, and what did he say? I'm a rap star who's supposed to be riding around in that car, meaning that something didn't go off, that something didn't go according to plan. So and T.I. said, in '06, in '06, I'm gonna do what it took them half their life, meaning that I was gonna have a record deal in 2006, and I wouldn't be on this medicine in 2006. But that's a lie. That's all a lie. These rappers are lying for the government.
You saying Lloyd Banks as well?
Both of them.
Okay.
They both saying the same thing. It's just a matter of semantics. Lloyd Banks said, I'm a rap star who's supposed to be riding around in that car, which means something didn't go according to plan. T.I. said, I'm going to do an '06, which took them half of their life. And I was put on this medicine in 2006. And he said that before the medicine. But he also says, what he said, even after my life, haters be out for my light. T.I., and in my gut always told me there's something not right about that when he said that. I just didn't want to believe it because I thought T.I. liked me, but I realized that that's irrelevant, and he don't know me, and they basically just used me and lied to me and told me a bunch of stuff that that wasn't true. And
When did you meet him?
I've never met him.
Oh.
He it was one time I thought he was related to me. Like the movie ATL. I thought on my father's side, because I don't know my father. I've seen my father maybe 4 or 5 times in my entire life. I thought T.I. was related to me on my father's side. Because out of nowhere, he started making music about me. He started defending me against people who had robbed me, and was trying to beef with me,
Mm-hmm.
and he was defending me, and I thought that we was related, and you know, and then the way the game was set out, T.I. came out with the King album when I got this job in Richmond at Triple E Utilities, which was a government front. And all my friends started shitting on me once I got that job. And T.I. came out with the King album talking about that, talking about front, back, side to side, never let profanity friends ride. Basically, like my friends weren't really my friends, they was talking about me. And he also said everybody down with me, know they down with me. And come to find out, it was a manipulation tactic, because my friends and T.I. was working for the same people. But the thing is, T.I. knew about my friends, but my friends didn't know about T.I. They didn't know that rappers had an integral place in what was going on. And from my understanding, what was going on was people had threatened me and threatened to harm me, which Young Jeezy raps about a year prior. And Cameron had got shot that October. The spring of the next year, I started working with Triple E. Cameron come out with a song talking about all my friends, well, all my N words come from minimum wages, referring to that job I just got. So, my mother come hugging me crying before medicine, so basically I think someone threatened our lives, and that's what got my friends involved in my hometown, got my family involved in my hometown, got my ex-girlfriends involved from my hometown. They always like to throw my family, like my mother in this, and bring her up as if she done something. My mother didn't do anything illegal. My mother and me are some of the most innocent people of this whole ordeal. But we take the blame for pretty much everything. My father, I don't know my father, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think he's, how can I put this? I don't know my father, so I can't say what he done or didn't do, but I would assume that if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be in this situation.
Why so?
Why so?
Mm-hmm.
Cause, like,
Excuse me.
I just believe that. I don't, like I said, I don't know my father, but, the one time I did see my father, he told me that he had a limo service and he used to drive politicians around in his limo. So maybe that's the connection there to how the government did this to me. I don't know. But that's just me speculating. And, you know, I don't know my father, but if I was to make an educated guess, I would say that he's the linchpin in all this to make all this possible. But at the same time, I don't fault him or blame him because I don't think he did this to me in the sense of, saying, hey, this is my son, read his mind for whatever reason. I don't think he did that. I think, if anything, my father's role in this is someone that may have been not living right and was in too deep with bad people, and they came to him and said, we're going to do this to your son. And my father is smart enough to know that he deal with dangerous people, and they wouldn't take no for an answer. So that's why I don't fault my father. I think he's in too deep with bad people that ain't gonna take no for an answer. You know, because they not gonna take no for an answer. But they'll try to make my father out to be Nino Brown to try to make him look like he's some big time whatever to try to attach me to that.
Mm.
Attach me to that. And I disagree with that. Like, I don't know my father. Don't attach me to, like I was saying about the power of attorney earlier, don't attach me with my father. My father got like 8 other kids. Why this kid? What makes this kid? I'm not the oldest, I'm not the youngest, but he got 7 boys. Eight now, I believe. He got 8 children, all males. Why this child? Out of all his kids, why this child? Because there's a variable that people choose not to talk about. And again, I've only seen my father only 4 or 5 times in my entire life. And it's the pillars in the community that's the bridge here. From my hometown to where my father was able to learn things about his son, to where rappers was able to learn things about me. That everything about this situation started local right here in Virginia. And they're gonna try to disassociate themselves with this, and his father this, these rappers that, we trying to save Terrell. We didn't know this was gonna happen to Terrell. That's a lie, and my thing with that is, like the whole drug deal went bad because people think I'm a drug mule. If the drug deal went bad, how would it look if it went right? I'd be a rap star. I would be what T.I. and Lloyd Banks said. I have a record deal. I don't believe that. That doesn't make sense. That's why I don't believe the whole drug thing, because that's a good question. If it's a drug deal that went bad, how would it look if it had went right? Why would two drug dealers, whether buyer or supplier, come together, don't trust each other, use me as in what insurance to do a drug deal, and go through all this trouble to do a drug deal just for it to be a one-off? Do it for 2 weeks. Once this medicine in my system, it probably takes 6 months to get out. So at a minimum, this was gonna go on for a year, and that would have been too long for the community. So this whole drug deal that went bad, I'm not buying that. I think rappers that deal drugs are dealing drugs on their own time, and it's a quid pro quo with the government, you know, in return that they undermine and sabotage me. But this medicine itself, I don't think it has anything to do with drugs. I think it's United States medicine. They lying about it being someone else's, and I believe that. I've been consistent with believing that, because another example, you know, when I was first put it, got the, not when I was first put in medicine, when I first got the job at Triple E Utilities, which was a government front, and my friends started disrespecting me and talking about me. My ex said negative things about me. You think they said it to my face? No, they didn't. You wanna know how they communicated it? Indirectly, just like everyone's doing now. So if they was communicated indirectly like they doing now, before medicine, what does that mean to the protocols? Wouldn't that undermine the protocols if they was communicating indirectly before medicine? I can think of about 7 to 8 people that can confirm that, yeah, we was talking about Terrell indirectly, doing the exact same thing we're doing now. And it wasn't just people in the community doing it. The person, Steve, that was the boss at Triple E, that was leading the team at Triple E, which I think he was government front, which I think he worked for the government. I don't know what government. He was one that would communicate it indirectly, because I got in an argument about this situation over the phone, about all this crazy stuff going on around me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, next thing I know, Steve called an emergency meeting. He had my coworker come to me, call an emergency meeting. We go back to the office, and Steve repeated indirectly everything I said on the phone. They had my phones tapped. And mind you, I'm not doing anything illegal when they tapping my phones. They spying on me illegally. They tapping my friends' phones. They knowing what's going on between me and my ex-girlfriend. So they tapping her phone too. You know, you know. So this wasn't something where I didn't see it coming. I may not have saw the medicine coming, but I was slowly but surely catching on to the rappers. I was slowly but surely catching on to Triple E. I was slowly but surely catching on to my friends and family. You know, but I would ask all of them, what is going on? Me and Steve and Randy had a private meeting because I was suspicious of them. And Steve tried to act like he was trying to figure out what was going on. We had a private meeting in Richmond off of Laburnum about me speculating stuff about them trying to do something to me. You know, my friends, you know, I had conversations with them about this. My ex girlfriend, I even brought it to her attention. So this is not something where, you know, they don't talk about my friends, Steve, my ex girlfriend. They're quick. They like to bring up my family because it's a proximity thing. They don't care about what my friends did. They don't care about what Steve did. They only care about what my family did, because that's how they're trying to bridge this to make it hold and gel together. Because if they roofied me and didn't tell me what was going on, Are they gonna blame themselves for roofing me? Or are they gonna blame my family for allowing it to happen? And my family's not guilty of nothing. They extorted my family. My mother come crying to me before medicine. You know, my mother won't even admit that I'm getting my mind read. Because like I was telling you a couple sessions ago, my boss man told me that these folks told my family that they would kill me if they tried to intervene. You know, so it's a Jack Ruby situation. And what I mean by Jack Ruby, they're basic. You dealing with people that will make you do something and spend the rest of your life in jail being an innocent individual, and you'll do it because the alternative is much worse. Because that's the type of people they are. Jack Ruby, you know, that's what he did. He killed Oswald at a police station, and said and came up with some lame duck excuse to why he did it because he killed our president. That nobody believed that story. He was a gambler, degenerate that what they say dealt with prostitutes. Why would he be that moral to care about what happened to a president when you got mob ties and everything? You know, so that was just a scapegoat, a blame game, cover up. Everybody know that. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I think it comes a point where people just gotta use their common sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what time is it?
Well, yeah, we need to stop this.
Yeah. You know, so yeah, like
You got your flash drive?
yeah. Yeah, so like this situation, this is the gun